Hey guys, Amazing Ampharos here, diving into some more Final Fantasy IV The After Years Final Dungeon action, where I'm about to go through some pretty dangerous floors and finally take on the last of the Archers. Now, Rubicante is going to be a little bit different than the others, and you'll see what I mean when I get there. But he is going to be a much more serious fight than the others, the way I'm going to do it. And hopefully this will be the last time for the entire game that I see blood feast. I truly don't understand what they were thinking when they implemented that move. Now there's a very important piece of equipment through this passage here that we're going to make a top priority to get. The God Hand. Now you might think that's not useful at all because it's really only important for Yang and Ursula. But with the God Hand and the Fairy Claws equipped, Edge is a very, very fast character right now. It's not going to help us with the routine back attacks and surprise encounters that pretty much define this dungeon at our level. But other than the free attacks enemies get under those circumstances, we will be able to drop smoke and get out of here before facing any attacks at all with this equipment. And in general, in any fight where Edge isn't attacking, he's just throwing items and such, keeping the God Hand on is going to make him perform at a pretty ridiculous level. Of course, if your party does include Yang or Ursula, then the God Hand's even better as it's helping you in a more direct fashion. And even though that passage doesn't lead anywhere, and I knew it, it's still worth going in because every time you go through a door transition, you reset the random encounter rate a bit. So running in those random doors is actually a ploy on my part to lower the number of encounters I'll have to face. And if I can learn the menu, we can get on with it. And if you did have Edward, that would be a fantastic piece of equipment I just grabbed. But I don't, so it's not really helpful at all. And I'm actually going to take this now, because I'm going to need to be really ready for this final boss, or for this upcoming boss, rather. I actually could use the save point intense without watching this scene, but if I'm going to be using the save point anyway, I might as well get it out of the way. And this band that I'm about to get between Edge and Yang would actually be a really good band if you were using both of them. So it's kind of a shame that Yang's not in my party, because between the God Hand and this band, he would get a lot more effective. But, oh well. And I'm just going to spoil how this boss fight goes. If you approach this boss with Edge, you get an option to do the fight as a one-on-one between Edge and Rubicante. And choosing to do this gets you a really awesome piece of armor for Edge or the other ninjas, so I'm going to be doing this. But this boss is no joke if you fight him as a one-on-one, even though he's pretty easy if you fight him as a group. So we're going to pile on all the best equipment we can get for Edge. And I'm actually going to leave the speed stuff on because I'm going to need to take a lot of turns early on in this fight if I hope to win. but I certainly don't want to fight under full moon. That would have been a big mistake. Because obviously Edge doesn't really have the tools to solo by himself. He can't heal, and I don't really have any useful status moves. If you've leveled up a little more than my Edge has and learned Mirage, it'll be incredibly helpful here. But I'm just going to have to rely on decoys. With the God Hand and the Fairy Claws, though, I can really get a ton of items out in short order, and that'll be the trick to winning this fight. Of course, start with the Spider Silk, which drastically slows him down. And then a Hermes Sandal, and we're in business. Of course, with these weapons, I can't really do any damage, so I need to switch to my powerful weapons. And this is really going to slow Edge down a lot. But I do really heavy damage under this lunar phase. And with haste, I still get enough turns. All the equipment I have means I resist every element, so Firaga and Inferno do a lot less damage than they would otherwise. Inferno in particular is also nerfed by this lunar phase, so that's pretty handy. And whenever you need to heal, just switch back to the God Hand and Fairy Claws to optimize the number of turns you get. And there's no reason to be scared of throwing X potions. And the strategy I'm using is really menu heavy. You can probably get away with a lot fewer menu options, but this is just the sure thing strategy that lets Edge win even at level 30. You could actually probably win with Edge at a lower level than this if you aren't even using Edge and you just pick them up from the party select that thing. And again, if you've leveled Edge up enough so you actually have Mirage, you can use that instead of throwing decoys. It'll save you a bunch of items, but honestly, with both Kane and Forum knowing Blink, and Edge is about to learn Mirage, I don't really need to hold on to the decoys. So I might as well use them now where they can make a real difference in the battle. And I could have attacked again and saved an X potion, I guess, but I didn't really have any way of knowing that was going to happen. And down goes Rubicante, and Edge gets a double level and learns Mirage. The Fire Scarf here not only has really great defensive stats all around, but it also boosts your speed and absorbs fire. So Edge is now really difficult to kill. And overall, I really do prefer the Black Cowl on him. At least for now. I might put the red cap on later. It's a classic offense versus defense choice. But I'm going to break segment here, and I'll see you next time where we dive into some very interesting geography to be found under the surface of the moon. See you then.